Hi everybody. Skippy and I are here to kind of go over my reading goals from 2017 and talk about some new ones I'm going to place for 2018. And I can already tell she's not going to want to sit here for this whole thing, so I'm going to go lay her down on the bed and let her get some more rest. I think. Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so the beginning of the year I set a Goodreads goal of 100 books. The previous year it was 150, which I surpassed. The year before that was like 180, which I surpassed. I'm actually trending downward numerically. I didn't want the number to be as important as what I was reading, just the ability to choose what I wanted to read, when I wanted to read it, not because I had to reach a particular number. I chose at least a flat rate 100 on Goodreads just so there was a goal where the books would kind of be fed into on Goodreads and accumulated together, and I could see the year as a total. So again, for this year, for 2018, I'm going to just pick 100 books total. In terms of the 2017 goal, I did actually surpass the 100 books. I read 120 books. It seemed very easy. I wasn't rushing at the end like I was when I was with the higher numbers, and I remember pushing December reading almost entirely manga the previous year. So I was happy with the 120. I reached my goal again this year, and yeah, I'm very satisfied with that. And again, I'm just going to pick 100 for 2018. I had a couple other goals which I had written out. One of them was to read at least 5 ebooks from my e-reader, and I did read 5. I read Tosh Hart's Tolstoy. This, I can't read the author, Catherine Ormsby, it looks like. The Venetian by Shani Struthers. Jeremy Bates' The Catacombs. Cameron Chaney, There Are Monsters Here. And The Dead House, Nada, a companion novel by Dawn Kurtagich. Most of those last few, like the 4 of them, the last 4, I read as part of a read-along, read-a-thon. So I accomplished that entire goal of reading 5 ebooks. Again, for 2018, I would like to read at least 5 ebooks. I have quite a few of them that I've accumulated, many for free, or 99 cents or something like that. Probably 400 or something like that on my various e-readers. So I like to kind of knock some of those titles down, and found some really good ones on there. So it's about time I kind of dig more into those piles. I also set a goal of reading at least 5 classics from a list of books. Kind of failed that in terms of the list overall. I did manage to read A Strange Manuscript Found in a Copper Cylinder. That was a Canadian classic, which I really enjoyed. I read Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness, and then Robinson Crusoe. I did read many more, and I'll go over my classics and everything, my classics total, later. But in terms of the list I made, I did kind of fail it by 2, so a little disappointed in that, but overall I still enjoyed the amount of classics I did read. And then I also set a goal of reading at least 5 books from a list, like a TBR list that I set up of 10 books. And I only again managed to read 3 of those. So here's the total list. I did read The Two Towers, Behind the Scenes at the Museum, The Kristen Hanna, and The Explorers Guild. I am currently reading, and here it is. I'm currently reading The Miniaturist, so that is actually on the list. I'm only that far though, and I'm really enjoying it. I did really want to read Return of the King so that I could say I'd read, the entire Lord of the Rings within 2017, but I kind of started running out of time because other readathons were popping up, and they had specific kind of TBRs that fit the goals for those readathons, and then other things kind of got in the way, and I never quite made it to that, but I do plan on finishing that in 2018. So overall, like I said, I read 120 out of my 100 goals. I read 36,572 pages. My shortest book was that one ebook you saw, There Are Monsters Here by Cameron Chaney. It was only 35 pages. And my longest book was 1,440 pages, and it was War and Peace. Yeah, quite a beast. And again, another reason why I didn't get to some of my goals, because I spent 2 months on that book. So overall, I broke it down into genres to compare this year to last year. I always find that kind of interesting to see how my reading is trending. Last year I read 76 manga, and I think that was mostly because in the month of December or so I read almost like 30 manga to reach my goal. I was running behind. This year I only read 30 overall. That was a bit of a surprise. Adult fiction, in 2016 I read 38 titles. This year I read 51. Adult nonfiction actually went down. I was surprised. Last year I read 8 nonfiction titles. This year only 4. Classics, I read 12 last year. I only read 9 this year, but 2 of them were huge. There was War and Peace and then The Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. Those were like 3 months worth of reading. So I'm still overall happy with the classics. I do want to continue reading more classics in the coming year. Graphic novels, I only read 2 last year and I only read 4 this year, so I haven't really gone too heavily on the graphic novels. Last year I read 10 YA books, this year only 4. That has been going steadily downhill over the past several years. Middle grade I read 7 last year, this year I only read 3. And a new category which I didn't have last year is Shakespeare plays. This year I read 15 as part of ShakeTube 2017, which was a 15-week read-along. Each week we read a play, so hence 15 Shakespeare plays. Hoping that will continue again next year if the hosts decide to continue it and maybe choose a new selection of plays. I really enjoyed the whole aspect of ShakeTube and watching other booktubers' videos on their Shakespeare experience and what they thought of each play. It was overall a very busy year even on BookTube for me. I participated in 14 tags. I was quite surprised because there's a lot I didn't quite get to. Didn't find that I had answers for many of the prompts or questions in the tags, so I kind of let them slide. I sometimes will print them up and I keep them in case I find that maybe later on I'll have responses to them and then maybe I'll be able to do the tag. So they may still pop up. If you tag me on something I haven't done it, I may still do it. We'll see. But overall I did the reading habits tag for the 2nd time. Anything but books tag, this and that book tag, Jurassic Park book tag, For the Love of Classics, the Spring Green book tag, Mid-Year book freakout tag, Sisterhood of the World book tag. I did it for the 3rd and 4th time. The A to Z bookish survey tag, End of Summer book tag, Guilty Reader book tag, 10 random questions book tag, and the book title tag. Also along the lines of readathons / read-alongs, participated in 10 different ones, so that was what kept me very busy. I did the Tome Topple, I did the Dewey's 24-hour readathon, a manga readathon, booktubeathon. I enjoy doing those every year. Read Your E-Reader readathon, where I managed to get through at least 4 of those 5 e-books in that one week. ShakeTube 2017, like I mentioned earlier, that was took up 15 weeks, and it took up a lot of time too because we weren't just reading the plays, but we had to film a video on each play at the end of the week. The Get Graphic readathon, War and Peace read-along, again a 2-month read-along. The Decameron read-along, which was another month read-along. And a nonfiction November. So again, a very busy time I felt on YouTube, BookTube more specifically, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So overall, in terms of the upcoming 2018 goals, I'm going to set it at 100 again. I'm going to read at least 5 or more ebooks from my various e-readers, but I'm not going to pick a selection of titles, either classics or just general fiction or nonfiction or any of that stuff. I just want to be able to have that more open freedom to whatever I feel like reading at that moment, I'm going to read. I want to definitely get through a lot of the books that I currently own that I've been sitting on my shelves. Hopefully I will not be buying as many books in the coming year. I say that now. I'm not going to hold myself to a book buying ban. I work in a bookstore. It's nearly impossible. Something's going to come across in front of my face and I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I want to get that. So we'll see. But again, I want to limit the amount of goals I have and make it a less pressure kind of feeling of reading. I just want to enjoy the general reading experience, share that with you and do discussions down below and comments. And I look forward to just another enjoyable and relaxing reading year. So, whatever readathons and read-alongs pop up, I will probably be jumping on because I do enjoy those. Sometimes it does push you to pick up something sooner than you would have, or something you might not have ever thought of. I never, believe it or not, heard of the Decameron. It wasn't something that I ever had assigned reading in school or any of the other classes had it or talked about it. So it was completely new to me. So when Adam at Memento Mori brought that up as a read along, I said, yeah, sure, why not? Sounds good. I wanted to read more Italian authors. Classic, here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely on board. So I'm sure many more of those will pop up when I get the opportunity to. I will probably vlog a lot of read-alongs, Deweys or Booktubeathon or whatever. You guys seem to enjoy that. I like putting Skippy in there whenever possible, so I definitely will do that unless she gets camera shy. So yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying like I said, the videos I've put up through the year. If there's any videos you'd like to see, kind of let me know down below. I'll see if I can go ahead and do those. Always looking for new ideas. I may be changing how I do wrap-ups and things like that, and Friday reads. I'm kind of thinking of, in a way, combining them. I see a lot of people do this where they don't really have wrap-ups. They have currently reading or am reading videos. So say at the end of the week or whenever they start something new or finish something, then they make a video. Not necessarily a full-length review, but say I'm just starting this book here, and earlier in the week I finished this, and then discussing at that moment. So because sometimes I find the Friday reads a bit repetitive. If I haven't started a new book and I'm reading the same book, what's the point of doing another Friday read? You've heard me talk about this book already. And then sometimes doing wrap-ups. I may have read a whole bunch of books in 1 month, sometimes like 13 books or so, and to try and remember enough about each book. Sometimes I don't retain them too long. It depends on the book. But enough for what I want to discuss about it is just kind of gone out of my mind by the time I reach the end of the month. So there may be some changes in the way I structure my videos or what I do overall in the coming year. I'm going to just play by ear and see how it goes. But I definitely welcome your input on it in the comments down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Or you'll see me, I guess. Bye-bye. Bye, BookTube. A wiggle worm. You're such a wiggle worm. Huh, you're a wiggle worm. Okay.